Thank you, Chairman. As I think Councillor Mantle said at the start of the debate, well, that seems quite a long time ago, this is one of the most significant decisions that this Council has taken for a very long time. And I think we need to be clear about the nature of the decision. The decision that the Council is being made to ask to make tonight is exactly as Councillor Gray set out, whether or not we want to submit this plan to the Secretary of State on the basis that we, the Council, collectively, and individuals who vote for it, think it is the best way forward for the development of North Hertfordshire in the circumstances in which we find ourselves. It is not, in my view, a question about whether or not we should send some representations on that plan to an inspector. It is whether or not the Council believes that this is the plan that should exist for North Hertfordshire. Now, I've heard a number of people say that we should rely on the inspector to get right what we cannot get right. And I have to say that I think there are two significant problems with members taking that view. The first is that it fundamentally misunderstands the role of the inspector in this process. The inspector will be presented with a plan which he will be told has the support of the Council. It is what we as a Council want to happen. And then, if I read from the guidance, it says, inspectors in conducting the examination will at all times keep in mind the benefits of getting a robust and up-to-date plan adopted for the area. As such, planning inspector seeks to ensure that plans are taken through the examination process as quickly and as efficiently as possible. It's not an opportunity to ask the inspector to tear it up and start again. If we vote for it tonight, the inspector will take that as a starting point, that is the Council's view of what should happen. And quite how a member who has voted for the plan is then going to turn up at an examination and say they don't agree with it. No. What are they going to say when the inspector says, well, if you didn't like it, why did you vote for it? And I think perhaps local residents might ask that question as well. Because what is the point? What is the point of being a councillor if when there is a proposal to do something you think that is wrong for your neighbourhood and wrong for the district, you vote for it and hope that the inspector will come along like a fairy godmother and sort it all out for you later? Why did you bother to tell me about that? You might as well have stayed at home. And so then we move on to the question of the plan. And people have talked about various issues. There are other fundamental issues about the question of numbers, where what is supposedly an objective assessment of need looks rather like a subjective justification of the number that the government wanted us to come up with. Certainly very different from the numbers that the Council came up with not very long ago. We've heard the issues about the greenbelt, but apparently that's okay because we're going to create some new greenbelt somewhere else. But that's not what greenbelt's about. Greenbelt is not just open space, it's open space in a particular place that's supposed to be there permanently. So just saying, well, actually we've got more greenbelt at the end than we had at the start, is to completely misunderstand what greenbelt is for. And then we have the issues of education, where, as has been pointed out, the County Council says the District Council has got it wrong. That we have not, in this plan, allowed sufficient space to provide schools for the children who will live in these houses if they're built. Now, we say that the County Council's got it wrong. Now, I think the County Council's probably been responsible for calculating school numbers since 1944, and they don't always get it right. But they've got a lot more experience of doing it than the District Council, which has been doing it since, it doesn't do it at all, does it? So the County Council thinks we've got it wrong, but we're confident that actually they're wrong. And then there's the question of traffic, where the consultation version that went out had a traffic impact assessment that completely ignored Royston and pretended that no traffic ever arrived from Bedfordshire. Now, one of the things, earlier on I said that this plan has only got worse, but one of the things that's got better is I understand that it's now been agreed that that plan is probably not adequate, and its suggestion that rephasing some traffic lights and building a few extra filter lanes won't deal with the extra traffic from 25% more people. So that is actually a step forward. But the place we are now is that we're told that there will be a sustainable transport plan. It'll be along shortly. We're not quite sure what it's going to say. Nobody's ever seen one. We certainly don't have it at the moment. But we've been asked to trust us. We'll come up with something in time. So on education, and on traffic, on the green belt, and on the numbers, this plan seems to me to be fundamentally unsound. Now, more than 98% of the responses seem to have spotted that. Seem to have spotted that actually we haven't got it right. Now, I think it's our responsibility in those circumstances to say this plan is not right, we will not support it. That will put us, in terms of predatory development, that would put us tomorrow morning, if we voted against it tonight, in exactly the same place we were this morning. Now, no one, I think, is pretending that we shouldn't have a plan. No one is pretending that we don't need to build some more houses and address the question of affordability and address all the other issues that the plan is supposed to cover. What we're saying is not, what I'm saying is not that there shouldn't be a plan, that there shouldn't be any housing development. What I'm saying is this plan simply isn't good enough.
Councillor, you've had your 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and in light of that, I should be voting against it.